Guardias Diaboli esto presidium imperativ.
In today's video, we're diving into horror on Netflix that actually gets under your skin. These films don't rely on cheap jump scares, they slowly creep into your mind, twisting fear into every shadow and sound. If you love getting scared, make sure to subscribe and drop a comment with the horror movie that terrified you the most. HellHole. HellHole is a hidden Polish horror gem on Netflix that deserves way more attention. Set in a creepy monastery in the 1980s, it follows a detective who goes undercover to investigate the disappearance of several women. He uncovers is far darker than he could ever imagine, a cult performing satanic rituals and a terrifying prophecy that could unleash hell on Earth. The film stands out for its eerie atmosphere, gritty practical effects, and a slow-burning mystery that builds up to a shocking twist. If you're into dark religious horror like The Omen or The Name of the Rose, this one's definitely worth a watch. A classic horror story?
Something's up with her.
Classic Horror Story is one of those hidden Netflix gems that dares to do something bold with the horror genre, and whether it succeeds or not depends on how twisted your tastes are. The movie follows Elisa and a group of strangers who crash their RV in the middle of nowhere, only to wake up near a creepy wooden house surrounded by cult symbols, animal skulls, and pure nightmare fuel. Directed by Roberto De Feo and Paolo Stripoli, this Italian horror flick knows exactly what it's doing. It cleverly plays with classic horror cliches while being one itself. Definitely worth a watch. Cobweb.
The banging.
Cobweb is an underrated horror thriller I watched in 2023, and it's better than many mainstream horror films. The story follows 8-year-old Peter, who lives with his overprotective parents, Carol and Mark. His world takes a chilling turn when he starts hearing mysterious tapping sounds coming from inside his bedroom wall. His parents dismiss it as his imagination, but Peter's fear only grows.
To protect your family.
What is that?
Soon, a voice trapped within the wall begins speaking to him, claiming to be his sister Sarah, locked away by their parents because something was wrong with her Lizzie Kaplan, and Anthony Starr deliver intense, unsettling performances as the parents, while the eerie sounds throughout the house make the atmosphere even more terrifying. The ending feels a bit rushed, and the twist is fairly predictable, but overall it's a spooky and memorable watch, perfect for a Halloween night. Dead Talent Society.
得奖的是
If you love smart horror comedies with heart, Dead Talent Society is a must-watch. Directed by John Shu, the film takes place in a world where ghosts must earn haunting licenses to stay remembered. The story follows The Rookie, a newly dead girl who's vanishing from existence unless she becomes a famous ghost. With help from Catherine, a washed-up diva ghost, they train, compete, and hustle through a wild afterlife that feels part Beetlejuice, part The Ring, and totally original. It's packed with creative scares, wild editing, and heartwarming moments that sneak up on you. Hard Eyes.
Why would he say that?
Hard Eyes is a Valentine's Day themed slasher rom-com where a serial killer known as Art Eyes is on his mission. The killer has moved to different cities in the United States, killing multiple couples on Valentine's Day. This year, Allie and Jay, two co-workers, are mistakenly targeted as a couple by the masked Heart Eyes killer. Directed by Josh Rubin, the film delivers over-the-top gore with inventive kills. Mixed with witty banter and slow-burn romance, viewers and reviewers most agree that it's a solid Valentine's Day horror pick. If you enjoy slasher flicks with a rom-com twist and creative kills, Hard Eyes comes with a bloody good time. Insidious at Chapter 2.
Something evil followed me.
Insidious, Chapter 2, directed by James Wan, picks up right after the chilling events of the first film. The Lambert family is trying to move on, but peace doesn't last long. Josh Lambert has returned from the further, yet something about him feels off. His wife Renee grows increasingly suspicious as strange and frightening things start happening around their home again.
I know what happened.
With the help of paranormal investigators, the family dives into the dark secrets of Josh's childhood, uncovering shocking truths about his connection to the spirit world. What follows is a tense and terrifying battle against the evil forces that refuse to let the Lamberts go. Apostle. A Netflix original horror film from 2018 directed by Gareth Evans. Known for intense action and brutality in films like The Raid 1 and 2, Evans brings bone-crunching brutality to this horror tale. The story centers around Thomas, a former missionary who has lost his faith and travels to a remote island to rescue his kidnapped sister from a cult. The cult believes the island's fertility comes from blood sacrifices, and as Thomas delves deeper, he uncovers the dark truth behind these rituals. With compelling performances from Dan Stevens as Thomas and Michael Sheen as the cult leader, Apostle stands out in the folk horror subgenre, drawing comparisons to iconic films like The Wicker Man and Midsummer. Apostle unfolds slowly, revealing chilling mysteries that make the journey worthwhile, with surprising twists and intense violence building to a gripping and bloody climax. Till Death.
Such a perfect couple.
Till Death is a gripping survival thriller that puts Megan Fox in one of her most intense and commanding roles. The story follows Emma, a woman trapped in a loveless marriage with her cold, manipulative husband, Mark. On their anniversary, Mark takes her to a secluded lake house and surprises her with a steel necklace, a gift that feels more like a warning. The next morning, Emma wakes up handcuffed to Mark's dead body. He's taken his own life as part of a cruel plan to trap her.
Please, please.
With her phone destroyed and every sharp object removed, she's forced to drag his corpse through the house and fight for survival when unexpected danger shows up. Dark, claustrophobic, and full of nerve-wracking tension. Till Death keeps you hooked from start to finish. 28 years later. Directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland, 28 Years Later is the third installment in the 28 Days Later film series. This post-apocalyptic horror sequel follows a quarantined island community starring Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Alfie Williams in his feature film debut, and Ralph Fiennes. In the quarantined island, nearly 3 decades after the rage virus outbreak, a 12-year-old Spike ventures into the infected mainland with his father, Jamie. Their exploration uncovers new horrors, including mutated, infected, and unpredictable human sex. The film leans into a moodier, coming-of-age tone, balancing brutal action with emotional depth. Jodie Comer portrays Spike's ailing mother Isla, and Ralph Fiennes appears as the enigmatic Dr. Kelson, delivering a key memento amoris moment that struck many viewers. 28 Years Later revitalizes the franchise with a rich atmosphere, strong performances, and emotional stakes. If you appreciate horror that's as thoughtful as it is intense, this is a standout for 2025. The Ritual.
What is that? Fucking hell, we don't know where we are!
The Ritual, a chilling folk horror set in the Scandinavian wilderness. The story follows 4 friends who reunite for a hiking trip in Sweden to honor their late friend. When one of them gets injured, they decide to take a shortcut through a dense forest, a decision that turns into a nightmare. Inside the woods, they stumble upon an abandoned cabin, covered in strange symbols and a disturbing wooden figure. That night, terrifying visions and haunting dreams begin to take hold. As they press deeper into the forest, the group realizes they're being hunted by something ancient and terrifying, a presence that feeds on their fear and guilt. Viewers praised the ritual for its eerie atmosphere, psychological tension, and a forest setting that's just as terrifying as the creature itself.